Hello, my name is Eduardo Rodriguez. I am the founder of PoseidonX.ai. Today is Tuesday, March 11, 2025. And I would like to share with you some perspective around a few events that caught my eye over the last few days. The first one is the Crypto Summit that was hosted by President Donald Trump at the White House and featured some of the most prominent leaders in crypto within the US ecosystem. And we have nothing but accolades for President Trump and the administration, David Sachs and company. This was a first class event. That being said, we couldn't help to notice that many of the members of the Asian, African, and Latin American community were not present. In fact, there was only one lady of many of the ladies that have been instrumental in making America the best place to do business in crypto and digital assets. So it would potentially be important to have all these players featured or invited to the future events that take place with the administration. Particularly in the case of our operation, we're a small outfit that recently pivoted from Canada to the US. We have done a lot of work with the EU regulators. Behind me, you can see three covers for the responses that we sent to the UK, Bank of England, the European Securities Market Authority, and His Majesty's Treasury. These consultations were part of the framework that has now resulted in some of the most robust regulatory frameworks for the top regional markets and countries where the US will do business in the digital space. So we believe that this is potentially one of the areas that could be of interest for the legislators to create a comprehensive regulatory framework. The other event that caught my eye was basically the rumor that Mark Rieta, the commissioner from the US Securities and Exchange Commission, is working on the potential merger of the exchange regulation and the alternative trading system regulation. My take on that is that it would be potentially a bit difficult to put that together because although both are extremely similar, these financial market infrastructure have also key differences. Specifically, an exchange can do both primary and secondary trading, whereas an ATS can only do secondary trading. Now, that could potentially change, and that would be great if we can actually find ways to streamline regulation that helps the industry. So we wish Mr. Rieta success on this endeavor. The next point was basically this morning a hearing that was hosted by Chairman French Hill, where the House Financial Services Committee discussed the digital payment ecosystem. And he happened to include the idea of a framework for stable coins as a payment system for the US and the implications of the central bank digital currencies on the US. And let me be clear, I do not support CBDCs. However, we have extensive work that we did with regulators related to stable coins. We think that this is one of the most promising areas for payments and facilitating both financial inclusion and democratization for the financial services. If you have any interest to learn more about these, feel free to reach out to me. The same event also featured a number of troubling points where a number of these congressmen and women, which some of them look like they should have been retired a long time ago, were having trouble understanding and even reading the notes that were passed for them to read in front of the committee. And we can't blame them. Obviously, digital payments, cryptocurrency, and blockchain are extremely technical and they are not understood by a lot of people, which brings me to specifically one of the suggestions that we made to both the EU and UK regulators, in that it was necessary, in fact, crucial for legislators to actually have a course to learn and understand the different concepts so that they can really work based on a realistic framework on the scope and opportunities that digital and blockchain provides for the transformation of not only payments, capital markets for the benefit of everyone in the Western world. It was also troubling to see some of the congressmen, particularly Mr. Scott and Mr. Lynch, conflate a number of the concepts about risk related to the technologies and how they relate to fractional banking. And let's be clear, fractional banking is the eighth wonder of the world because it allows the expansion of credit, but it also has created too much credit, which is what we're dealing with right now. The $35 trillion in debt, that is hardly something to be thinking about without wondering how it's going to be repaid. But nonetheless, JP Morgan used to say that gold is money and everything else is credit. And so this goes back as well to the recent debate about Fort Knox and the gold reserves. But let's address the current other gold, not the physical gold, but the digital gold, which is Bitcoin. If you are going to be issuing stable coins, it makes little sense to issue them with a collateral on fiat, because then you're basically just continuing to do the very same things that you are doing right now. And you will continue to expand the balance sheet, M1 and M2, and that is not going to solve anything. However, if you were to be issuing stable coins based on gold, silver, other precious metals, potentially commodities, and other physical real world assets, that has a real value. And we believe that this is the future. And that's particularly the area of expertise that we bring to the table in tokenization of real world assets. So I hope that this provides some valuable insights to everyone. I'm going to be posting more of these events and my feedback over the next few weeks in both English and español. Sí, yo soy de México y quiero saludar al secretario Marco Rubio. Nos enorgullece que usted sea el secretario de Estado. Estamos para apoyarle. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I am on LinkedIn, I'm on Twitter, and I have been known to be found also on Facebook. Have a good night and God bless.